Okay, welcome to episode 13 of Tracknowledgement, the series where I delve behind the scenes into sampling production. I've been doing the deep dives into the sample challenge stuff recently for the Producer's Corner Facebook group, where they give everyone, all the producers, single source to sample from. It's a lot of S's, and see what different people come up with. Now, as I showed in my previous video about Sample Challenge 100, I really went nuts on it. I really killed myself over it. And I did want to do the next Sample Challenge 101 because I like the sample source a lot. The sample source was Jeff Kurtnacker, song called I've Made My Choice, which is from soundtrack to some video game. It's actually not that old. It's like 10 years old or something. So anyway, and it was cool. It was like new agey, kind of guitar-ish. And I went and I found a bunch, I don't know, 6 or 7 or 8 bits of the song and combined them. So I was inspired by the source material, the Kurtnacker stuff, and I knew the parts I wanted to sample and how I wanted to arrange it. But I was really a little burnt out after doing Sample Challenge 100. So for this one I cheated a bit. I mentioned in the last video that I would explain why I cheated a bit. For the first time, usually on the sample challenges, I challenge myself to start from scratch as soon as I hear the source material. They let everyone know, here's the sample, that's when I start working. I haven't done any pre-production on it. I haven't thought anything out. I haven't set anything aside or whatever. Just start from scratch. The first one where I won Sample Challenge, what was it, 94? I think it was 94. Took me about a day, a full day. It took me 30 hours total, but there was a little sleeping and a little watching of television during that. So that was really cool. 4.5 minutes of beat. And it's not cheating to pull upon your experience. Like on that one, as I said in the video about it, it was jazz fusion, slow, mellow stuff. Hey, I know what will go with this. Hey, I know this sample. I know that, stuff I probably would have got to. But I didn't start on this one. I cheated by layering in these Jeff Kurtnacker pieces over beats that I already had set up for another piece of music. I really like the beats, and I just like, okay, these will work. Let me save some time by not having to program these beats from scratch, format these beats from scratch, edit them or whatever. So I just added it over there. So this is Sample Challenge 101, and the source material, Kurtnacker stuff, starts off like this. Guitar, harp, or something. That's the first one I sampled. I think that comes back later in the song. Yeah. So over that, I added a second part, fading in. I feel like a harp or something. I didn't bother even really fixing up the beginnings and ends of those loops. You can hear little clicks where they clip. Easy to fix, and I didn't bother because the beat's so loud and powerful on this. Third part comes in is this. Nice. Flute. And then I did this. This one I think is the one, it sounds like the Tron Legacy soundtrack. The horns on there, the kind of electronic horns from Daft Punk. Like a French horn. I mean, this definitely came out after the Tron Legacy. There it is. I just said it. The Tron sequel soundtrack by Daft Punk, and I think Kurt Necker was influenced by that. Behind that, I fade in more of his strings. Okay, then at the end I use this. It's kind of a explosive stab kind of thing. And the very end, it trails off into this. That's how it all ends. So, if I play it, let me turn something off here. There we go. So it fades in. The beats fade in. That's that loop. Strings. The horns. That goes a few, and then we skip to the end here. That comes back in. So, you see this went a lot faster for me than Sample Challenge 100. That's how that's all arranged. Bass lines, I've got some cool jazz bass lines, some harmony notes going on. This one here. Those are the main two bass lines. They actually, when you play them together, they harmonize really well. They don't rumble too much. So those are the bass lines. The beats are nice and snappy and peppy. This, lots of just breakbeat, panned, edited. That's the real fire there. My own drum machine stuff, which is gone. Apparently I erased that. Oh, whatever. Those are the beats. It's going to be real fast. Oh, 808s. I added 808s. I added those. This was so loopy and so kind of repetitive that I wanted there to be something interesting that happens after it loops twice. So it loops 4 times, but kind of halfway through that, actually after it loops 3 times. So it goes once, goes twice, and then between the 3rd and 4th, I wanted it to kind of stop. I wanted it to be a little pause. It's something that I've always liked in production, but it was harder to do when I was doing everything on the ADAT and just kind of layering everything everywhere and then going back in and doing little record over edits or whatever. Now, in Reason, I can just go in and take things out. So there's this drop here. So let me just play the beats and you'll hear what I'm talking about. Beats. Put the 808 in. And I do that a few more times in the song. And towards the end, I do it again. There actually should be a drum fill there. I'm not quite sure why that drum kit didn't load. Anyway, that last one I added a drum roll over that part. Oh, there it is. I was soloing the wrong one. So beats. Let me get the beats together here. You can hear all the open ride cymbals and stuff I added. All my own drum programming. So this is that last break. I just like doing that. I like having something to grab your ear, something different, something to bring you out of the loop. I think it was Joshua Stomberg noticed that and complimented me on that. So thank you, Josh. Those are the beats. That little edit. This went pretty quickly comparatively. The only last thing I wanted to add, I always like putting scratching in. Live vinyl from the 1200. I am surrounded by vinyl here, records, so just grab something. This was cool. I grabbed an ancient hip-hop compilation, which I'm not going to dig up right now. What was it? Hot Cool something, I don't know. But anyway, it was like really early, kind of cold chillin' stuff. Roxanne was on there. Queen of Rocks, I think, was the song. Yellow and green cover, all the little black and white pictures of the rappers. I forget the actual name of it. But there's a song on there that has, on like side 1 is the rap and side B is the instrumental. And I had forgotten Fab Five Freddy is on there. And this is, I don't know, 85 or something. Obviously, you know, he was around. He was Wild Style and everything. But he does his yeah thing, which he was doing on the his radio show. And I grabbed that. Which might be the first time he ever did that on record. And I did that throughout. The part here. I'm no DJ. I mean, I can move a record and whatever, but I am helped a lot by using the transformer switch, the on-off switch, rather than the fader. I can use a fader, but I'm really out of practice. It's just easier, snappier to use the switch. And then I put a ton of echo on it, which I call the Eric B filter, right? Because Eric B... I'm sorry, next time you listen to Eric B as president, man, those cuts suck. They're awkward. They're like he's cutting with his elbows or something. But it puts a ton of echoes on them, and that song became classic for what it is. So you listen to it, you're like, yeah, that's the sound of Eric B as president. But man, you get to the end and it's saved by the fact that he puts echo on it. Or Marley, I think, was working on the production on that, put echoes on it. So, and the last thing I did was I went looking online and I found a preacher doing a sermon about music. And of course he got into all sorts of holier than thou, literally, crap that I didn't touch. But, oh, what is this here? It's a beat. Ah, right. Alright, that's the first thing I wanted to find. What the hell was that? It's like a "We Will Rock You" kind of sound. I put that in the middle of the song. This is the preacher.
There's something about music that makes me forget about myself and recognize that there is a power greater than I am. There's something about music.
And you know what I loved about using that is watching the live show, and I was watching it live that week. I forget who it was. There was a very young person. I don't think it's Chris's son. I don't know who it was. Some very young person sitting behind him. I think, on his phone. But kind of, with one ear listening to all the loops. And every once in a while he'd look up. And it wasn't my music. It was that introduction. There he is just sitting on his phone, and Chris is playing loop after loop, and they're all really cool using the kind of spooky new age instrumental music. And then mine, he pops it on, and
there's something about music
and he's like,
that makes me forget about myself and recognize that there.
So that was fun. And then I just keep putting that in. There's something about music over the beats. So, this break.
Listen to this. Something about music.
So, yeah, there's one little bit I wanted to do this crazy edit with the beats and everything. I want to do like a skip, a pause thing. So I grabbed everything, grabbed all the loops, all the beats, and then that dum dum da dum. And over that, I had this little bit of him saying, "Listen up."
Listen to this.
And there's the crowd from the preacher. That's about it. That's everything that's on there. What is this? Is another beat? Oh yeah. Another jazz bass line. Chop that up and change it around. So that's that. Sample Challenge 101, which I ended up calling Musicology 101. That's what I did with that. People liked it, but it's fairly simple. And I used such long loops that it was just kind of like, yeah, okay, he chopped up Jeff Kurtnacker. So, thanks for watching. So after this one, just, life getting in the way, just doing other stuff. I didn't do another sample challenge. This is Sample Challenge 101. I didn't come back until, what was it? 113. So it's like from, I don't know, September to, or end of August until November or whatever. So, but I came back last week with Sample Challenge 113. I did 114 this week, so I will get to those. Next video will be Sample Challenge 113. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then.